Men know that they are providers. A man's value is his money and his career, and a woman's value is her looks. That's the fucking truth, and that's the world that we live in. Women get things because they are pretty, and men have power because they have money. And if you want a good-looking woman, you're going to be spending money.
Not every man wants a quote-unquote good-looking woman. Like, some men just want normal women.
Yeah, men
like,
without money.
That's not true. I'm not dating a woman that's above a 7. Like, I'm just being real.
But if you could afford it, you would.
Welcome to The Wall. Today, we're going to see several gold diggers say they want a man with money who pays for everything, while at the same time complaining about men who ask for a 50-50 split. Every like helps us keep creating. Subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. We always highlight the best one. And endless thanks to those who make this project possible through Super Chat. Let's get started.
Dating is a lot like shopping. You get what you can afford. For example, you wouldn't show up to the Rolls-Royce dealership with a Toyota budget thinking you're going to leave with a car that day, would you? No. So, stop listening to people who tell you you can do what you've always done in your dating life and get results you've never gotten, because that's just not true. Now, if you want to put in the work to get that Rolls-Royce or to get that person who's out of your league, you can. Otherwise, date in your price range. And what I mean by that is find someone who already appreciates what you bring to the table and is on your level. Follow me for more dating advice, and good luck.
Ladies, only marry a man if he has money or he's on his road to making some form of substantial income. A man who has superior wealth is driven, ambitious, and purposeful led by his work. This type of man's true nature illustrates there will be safety and security provided in the relationship. Now, this isn't for superficial reasons. This is for the purpose of you being in your divine feminine. At a woman's core, she craves to be looked after, so she can simply relax without having to be burdened with making the day-to-day life decisions. Doesn't want to have to pay all the bills. Doesn't want to do the hard laborious jobs. She desires pure freedom, knowing her man is taking care of all the big responsibilities. Let me tell you, ladies, this can only be achieved with a masculine man, and one who is purposeful led in career and business, knowing his true responsibilities in the relationship.
I prefer my Toyota for its reliability and low maintenance. Women like this tie their entire lives to money. Their mindset is that of someone who just wants to be taken care of. And I don't mean being a homemaker, I mean being a freeloader. A woman who doesn't help you grow, but loves to spend. This type of woman doesn't take you anywhere. On the contrary, she holds you back because she only thinks about what benefits her. And the moment you hit a rough patch, guess who's the first one to jump ship? Exactly. And if you want a detail to notice in all the women in this video who talk like this, they're all over 30, hitting the wall, looking for a winner none of them ever got. If your advice doesn't even work for you, why would it work for someone else? The Wall doesn't forgive.
Men have literally attached their worth to two fucking things, okay? Money and a good, okay? However, they fucking complain when we tell them that they're not good for anything else, okay? Like, if I'm asking you for fucking money, it's because you said you had it. It's because you revolve the entire world around your ability to fucking make money and give a good, You guys can't even fucking do it right. Like, my mask stays on longer than a man can keep it up, okay? Our masks stay on for like 30 plus minutes. Like, you're at 3 minutes best, my friend. Sit the fuck down. Give me your money, okay? Give me your money because that's all you're good for. That's literally your entire value, okay? Unless you demonstrate that your value is something else, I'm gonna assume it's only money, so I'm gonna ask you for it. I don't want to spend my money. Yes, I'm an independent lady. I'm an independent lady. I don't want to spend my money because my money is for my security, for my investment, okay? For my bank account, for my future. Your money, however, is for play. Okay, you want access? You guys are so fucking easy. You're so easy. They're so easy. You're so easy. I mean, literally, we have the entire stripper economy worth billions of dollars. OnlyFans, men. So why are you coming after us? Like, take a look at yourself. Please. Give me your money, okay? My Cash App and my Venmo is in my bio, okay? A lot of men reached out to me and they're like in the comments, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, hey, can I send you money? So you know to send me money.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
That woman clearly belongs to the streets. She's a 304 and isn't even ashamed of it. Now let me tell you something. Better lock down some beta provider or simp fast, because that wrinkle on your forehead is starting to show. Makeup's not hiding it anymore. Women like this, brothers, are businesswomen. Yeah, but their body is the business. They use their best years to squeeze everything they can out of it. And when that runs out, they do one of two things. Either lock down some beta provider or play the church card. And the worst part is they have followers who cheer them on. Women just as empty, who see that lifestyle as a way to feel validated. It all revolves around money and attention. That's why men today are stepping away, because we've realized that many of them aren't looking for love or respect, just a sponsor.
If dating for love isn't working out for you, date for money. I'm being dead serious. My dating approach has been unbelievably pure for my entire life. Never cared about the financial status of the guy, have dated people with less money than me, have always gone 50-50 in relationships, has never been financially taken care of by a guy. I just wanted to fall in love and have a genuine partnership and connection with someone. And guess where that's gotten me? Used, taken advantage of, single. My ex, who I thought I was in love with at the time, we split everything 50-50, including rent. We lived together. That he was never going to marry me. He was never going to settle down with me. Every guy who I've had genuine feelings for has just hurt me. I got to the point where I just stopped dating. I was like, men are just ruining my life. Until I realized, what if I just start thinking like a man? What if I just start getting what I need out of these relationships instead of worrying about the genuine love and connection that we share? You don't get to choose if that's going to be there or not anyway. So if you stumble upon love, amazing. But if you don't, you're still getting something out of the deal. I don't know why it took me so long to figure this out, but if you are a lover girl that keeps getting burned, hey, what if you just got what you needed from men? How about that? How about you try that and let me know how it goes?
I've never believed in 50-50. If the man is the leader of the home, his role is to provide, protect, and guide. But a woman with values understands that her role is also to care, support, and keep peace in the home. The Bible makes it clear. The man leads through hard work, and the woman through dedication. That's balance, not inequality. But we live in a time where one income isn't enough to live on. Both have to work, and that's why they need to support each other, even with cleaning. In the end, all the money should belong to the family, not be split individually. That helps improve their quality of life. That's my view. But when you see women like this, you start to understand why you have to be careful. A lot of them don't want a partner anymore. They want a sponsor. If a woman doesn't respect you as a leader, if she argues over every decision or sees you as just an ATM, drop her without a second thought.
Women.
If you're embarrassed to say that you want your man to provide for you, you need not to be. The simple reason is because, at least for a certain amount of time, if you want a family, you need him to provide for you. And if you meet men and they're not mature enough to understand that, then it's probably better you're not with them. If he's into this 50-50 we provide together paradigm of reality, then he can have that. But you need, as a woman, if you want a family, protected motherhood, which means in the time when the children are small, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if those children are going to be born and need care all the time. Well, they're definitely going to need care all the time, but you don't know how long that care is going to be. You don't know how independent that child will be raised to be. You don't know how you're going to feel about your children going into care. You don't know any of that stuff. So you cannot tell a man once you meet him that you will definitely put your children into care and that's fine by you. That's why you don't need to act like this woman who's going to be 50-50 and all these things. If you want a family, be brave enough to tell men that you want him to provide. It doesn't need to be a luxurious lifestyle. It doesn't need to be a crazy amount of money. But in the time when you have small children, you guys need to be able to live on his salary. What does that mean for you? I'm not sure. How much money is that for you? I'm not sure. But you need to be realistic and you need to be in your feminine about that. You need to say that openly and honestly, so you don't get stuck with a man who expects you to work and raise your children and have your children and be the one who's taking them to care. It's very simple. And you're going to tell me a lot of adults cannot afford to live on one salary. Can they not? Or do they have expectations of a different lifestyle? Can they not? Or maybe they're not in a position where they can provide. It's all about choices. But I'm telling you, when you have small children, the mother needs to be there for them. And you need to plan for that. So don't be embarrassed to say that you want a husband who provides for you.
Women should marry for money because the opposite of it is marrying for poverty. And when it comes to dating, money must go first, love and emotions go second. You know the kind of women that stood on the moral high ground saying that money doesn't matter, love is enough? They're still flying economy. I know this sounds harsh, but those are the exact same kind of women that never get flowers, never get gifts, never get appreciated, and always overworked. They are the same kind that get forced to go to work while being 35-week pregnant, squeezed onto the metro just because their husband cannot provide for them. I'm not saying to not date for love, but I'm saying that financial standard must come first. If you only date guys who are financially successful, you're bound to fall in love with one of them. It's like, I don't date smokers, so I'm bound to fall in love with one of the non-smokers, right? And honestly, if you're worrying about bills not being paid, if you're on survival mode, struggling with a man, love is the first things that go out of the window. What is love? Where is it? Please, don't be stupid. And if you don't do this for yourself, think about your future children.
Like I said, a man is a provider, always for the woman who is his true helpmate. And I have to say, almost every man is fine with that, as long as the woman takes care of him the way God intended. Because really, what's better than focusing on making money or building your business, and not having to come home to do even more work? Coming home to a good meal, clean clothes, and well-cared for kids. A wife who's happy to see you. That's not a bad thing. On the contrary, that motivates you to work even harder because you want to keep that, to take care of your own. The problem is today's woman wants everything traditional, but she herself is not. She wants the benefits without giving anything in return. That's why men today talk about 50-50, because if she leaves tomorrow, like many do, she walks away with the part you put into the relationship.
What blows my mind is when men get upset that a woman wants a man with money, yet they want a woman who takes care of herself and is beautiful. It is very expensive as a woman to take care of yourself, especially in today's economy. And I'm like shocked sometimes when men say things like, oh, like that's materialistic or whatever it is. It's crazy when you're here saying, oh, I want a girl who works out and who takes care of herself. I don't think men realize how expensive it is to take care of yourself. So when a woman says she wants a man with money, you guys take this statement and you want to just, I don't know what it is. All you men out there are just, it's sad, because what a woman means by that is she means she wants a man. She wants a man who will invest in her. If she can invest in herself thousands of dollars to be a certain way, to look a certain way, and you want your woman to look a certain way, why should she go for somebody who can't afford to invest in her, who can't afford to make her better, to give her more, to make her life easier, that way she can look better, I mean, and on top of that, let's not forget kids. Like, you don't realize that a woman's primal instinct is to survive. And in today's day, unfortunately, that means more money. So stop calling women shallow, stop calling them materialistic, and stop saying you want women to love you for you, because those are two different things. You can love somebody for who they are, but also take into consideration their success and their security. Just like as a guy, you should like the girl for who she is, but every single one of you dudes out there is taking her looks into consideration, is taking her body into consideration, all of these things. So what makes it so different? So I just wanted to put that out there to all the guys that are going to be watching this story who have gotten upset and who have kind of gotten this opinion or this view of women of being materialistic, when really they're just trying to survive. It's not cheap. It's really not cheap to have a healthy, good lifestyle, especially to have healthy children who are able to do activities, to have a good education, to live in a good neighborhood. So get your head together.
Women like this don't understand that most of the ones living a good life with a man, enjoying luxuries, are the ones who bet on a man's potential. I try not to be a hypocrite about this. A man should at least have a job before going out to win over the woman he wants. But women today have unrealistic standards for what it means to be a man with money. Because if you're asking for the 666 of the apocalypse, 6 feet tall, 6-figure salary, and a six-pack, you're not just asking for money. You're asking for something only 5% of men actually meet. The irony is that many of these so-called high-value women aren't rich. They're in debt, but well-presented. And men today see right through that. They'd rather be with a simple woman with no debt than a successful one who lives to impress. That's why men no longer fear being called poor. They fear ending up supporting a woman who lives beyond her means. Because behind the makeup and all the independence talk, a lot of them are just looking for someone to pay for their mistakes. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Do you think today's women are paying the price for rejecting good men when they still had options? Or are they simply living out the consequences of a system that sold them false ideas of freedom? Should a man keep striving to be a provider in an era where many women don't respect male leadership? Or is it time for men to reserve their efforts only for the ones who truly value them? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.